Ethiopia still sieging down Lubeck. Commonwealth forces have backed off. They're trying to retake Copenhagen, which is a good idea. Naval superiority has been regained in this region. I think that the navies are... Nope. Not going after this. Commonwealth smashing a colonial fleet. Commonwealth do have 38 heavies and 17 galleys. I mean, that's beatable. But you have to bait them into actually jumping out and fighting you. So you need to have a lot of your heavies dedicated just to blocking the Commonwealth fleet. But I still reckon, like, if you had the Portuguese navy down here, as is happening right now, you could have them blocking the Commonwealth, while the Arabian navy blockades Denmark. Like, that's doable. Just divide the responsibilities. But this is a naval battle. This is a naval war. And neither side is using navies. Well, actually, Denmark's navies have escaped. Where are Denmark's navies? Because Val, I think, does know the power of blockades. His fleet's over here. Yeah, not surprising. Going to go and crush some of the colonial nations' navies. Denmark is slowly but surely retaking Sapmi. Commonwealth still sitting down here, but I think just the fact that the Commonwealth is in the war will scare the other players. Empty Road is fighting. Who's Yarkand up against? Yarkand is fighting against Sang and Taugu. So Yarkand's trying to claw back a little bit of power, having lost a rather hefty bunch to Ming. Japan's not done a lot. Malayan Australia continues to grow. The Dutch have little outposts, but nothing huge. Portugal's actually taken most of New Zealand. Dutch control of Indonesia continues, as does Portugal. Portugal's gone after the Spice Islands, though Tidor and Ternate still exist. And then let's take a look at the New World. Let's actually just go to this. So we have Cascadia, which is Portuguese. We have California, which is Portuguese. I thought that Brunei or somebody had a colony out here. Not Brunei, I thought Daivir had a colony. They do. One province. Not enough. But it's a jumping ground. They could go elsewhere, but I don't know what the Daivir AI is doing. They do have a colony who's buffing up onto their own provinces. Yeah. AI Daivir does... I think the AI generally just doesn't use their colonists very well. They focus far too much on using them for deving up. And then we have that as well. Chile. Malaysian Chile. Meanwhile, Denmark, war continues to go. War score is down to -19. Ethiopia's attacking the Commonwealth. I've got to say, I think the MVP here has gone to Ethiopia. Also, Denmark's not colonizing at all. Oh, no money. Of course. So what's costing you so much? Is it your fleet? It's not the fleet. But how on earth is your fleet only costing you 7 ducats? 124 ships are costing you 7 ducats. Wow. Ethiopia really is going for it. They've taken the capital! Warsaw has fallen!
Gaze upon Ethiopian Warsaw.
I know, I just noticed that. That's hilarious.
It's so good.
I gotta say, Ethiopia is kind of the MVP of this war. Like, they did
really
so much damage.
They've been just beasts.
This is Andalusia, by the way.
Yes, hello.
Oh man, that's hilarious. So, how many alarm bells were ringing once the Commonwealth joined?
I specifically joined because we got intel that the Commonwealth was joining, and so I wanted to make sure that I could at least help contest naval dominance.
Sure.
And I also don't want him getting bigger.
Really? Nobody else seems to care about that.
You know, someone has to.
Oh no, Commonwealth's finally spotted the Ethiopians and they're running away, but the fact they took Warsaw is hilarious.
So good.
Oh, that's genius.
Alright, I'm gonna head back into my chat for war.
Yep, cool. Thanks.
Alright. No problem.
And thank you very much for the bits there, Phoenix. I appreciate that. Ethiopia secretly the world's greatest power. Probably. Certainly on the evidence presented during this playthrough. Yes, I would say so. Ooh, Danish particularist. Denmark is definitely having some rebel issues. Their stability, they still... Oh, they can't be stab hit anymore. So what's the play here? The naval powers need to use their fleets. They have to get these blockades going because that's the key for the war score. They're currently just sitting on 0 bonus. No, they're in fact on -25. That's why they're losing this war. Yeah, if Arabia was getting the blockade power war score, then they would be dominating this. Because they would get the extra war score from that, they'd get the extra war score from actually blockading, and they'd be generating the war exhaustion. And you get a lot of war exhaustion when you're being blockaded. And also you'd be losing the money from all of your coastal provinces, because a portion of that goes away in spoils of war for the blockade. It's infuriating. It's like Naval War 101. Anyone who's watched any of my games should know this. Oh, New Providence has appeared. We have pirates! More of them! I love the fact that these guys are actually just spawning. This is brilliant. And there's the New Providence fleet, led by Benjamin. So I wonder if we're going to see Port Royal or Tortuga. I think Tortuga needs to be Protestant or Reformed. They're Catholic, so I don't think Tortuga can form. Port Royal can. Especially as Denmark is in a war that they're losing with war exhaustion problems. So Tortuga could actually form here in West Indies, I think. It is kind of hard to watch this war. Like, this would be... I'm not going to say a doozy, but certainly winnable for the naval powers, because they have such huge naval superiority, and they are just not using it. It's kind of like Japan fighting against Ming and refusing to fight them at sea. The blockades are so powerful. How close is Crete to being independent? That's a good question. The way to see that would be in here. A while. 40 months. So 4 years. Oh, hot join. Who dis? Ah, Clemf is back, so we have another Visionaga. Or rather, Visionaga has returned. And looking at the voice chats right now, Helson has actually left the Dwarves. The Dwarves is currently being occupied by Clemf. Helson is currently in the Knights. Ooh. I've just noticed the Dutch are in the channel with Arabia. As is Italy. Could this be it? Could this be the Italian backstab that we've all been waiting for? You want a naval power? Makes plots to join as England rebuild the Royal Navy. For Onyx, you should play as Ireland. Ireland is in a fantastic position to do that, because Britain is a one province minor. But Ireland lost their player, and next session would be unprotected. But they are in a pretty good position to make a good navy. Although surviving as Ireland would be all about the diplomatic game. So you need to bring it as a diplomat. But you could have serious bearings on the game, especially because we do have a Dutch naval power, an Arabian naval power, an Andalusian naval power, the Commonwealth starting to build a navy, and I'm missing
Mordred.
Portugal. Hello.
GG.
What happened?
Have you looked at the alliances lately?
No, I can't, because I'm locked into the hot join screen.
Well, Prussia and Italy both allied Arabia.
I did see that they were in the voice chat together.
Yep. So Prussia, Italy, both allied Arabia. There is Portuguese and Andalusian armies marching through France. So
It's happening. We're finally having the showdown.
yeah, everybody's joining against me, even my loyal allies.
I saw Italy joining against you from a mile away. They were just looking for the opportunity.
Well,
Prussia, I'm surprised by.
Yeah, Italy, I knew was happening. Prussia, I'm really surprised about.
I wonder what they offered. The really funny thing, though, is I was absolutely convinced that this session nothing would happen. I was like, this is the calm before the storm next time when France and Ireland are going to get it divided up. I was wrong. This is like World War One.
Yeah, and the reason I think they're allies is because Arabia and them can't win this war. They can't get enough war score with me in it.
They can. They're just not doing it. They have a very, very easy way of getting the war score, and they're just not doing it. I don't want to say anything more than that.
If they split up their fleets to blockade everything, I can actually pick off a couple of them.
It's infuriating.
You're like, you watch my videos and learn how to use your navies.
Yeah, literally any stream that I've ever done with any naval power, especially because the war goal is literally blockade.
Yep.
This is a trade war.
Yep. Which I didn't think in a trade war you could demand territory, but they're demanding territory.
I don't think you could either. Huh. I thought it was only war reparations on money.
No, it's making them... They're demanding Malta. They're demanding him releasing Scotland. They're demanding Crete.
Huh.
And I was like, I thought...
Maybe it's because it's not actually a trade war. I think this is a piracy CB. Privateering CB. But I don't know for sure. Anyway, it started again. You'd better go back to plotting.
We'll go back by myself. Val's in there. Yep, everybody's backstabbing me.
Well, this is the showdown that we were waiting for, Helson. Like, the world kind of did need to band together to fight you. And so it's going to begin. They've got 50 minutes. And remember that old saying that happens on the Paradox Dev Clash. Don't leave a session with a war going. That might well happen here. At which point the Commonwealth's going to have time to flex its muscles and make some deals. So, just like Arabia's Achilles heel is its economy, I would have to say the Commonwealth's Achilles heel is its economy as well. Because it has a huge army, and it does not have the capacity to pay for it. Especially once it starts taking casualties, because reinforcements cost a lot. And it definitely doesn't have the capacity for mercenaries at the moment. So, burning down their manpower through attrition is going to be a big one. And then also just blockading them to stop them making money. Ah! Oh, I'm hurt. I'm physically hurt by what's been going on here. Pharonix, I claim Ireland officially. I guess I'll join next week as a bunch of exams I'm studying for right now. No worries, Pharonix. If you head over to the Discord channel and just make that known in the Community Multiplayer tab, that would be awesome. Because then you can start negotiating with the other players, like, after this session. You could well become a power broker. Like, Ireland joining this... Well, actually, let's take a quick look at Ireland. I'm going to keep an eye on... Oh, actually, hang on. We have massive Italian armies on the border. I don't want to miss this. I really want to take a look at... Uh-oh. I really want to take a look at Ireland's fleet. Does Ireland have one? Because they did get kind of wrecked by Portugal and Denmark. And also did some wrecking of their own. Like, it went both ways. No, Ireland is not a major naval power. But they certainly have the capacity for it. Right, so while we're waiting for the pauses and stuff, while they're talking about what's happening here. Irish Navy, they have one ship, but they have a capacity for 51. Like, they could do it. And they have quite a few sailors. I'm just going to save here real quick, just in case. In fact, if Italy and Prussia broke the... Well, Prussia never had an alliance with the Commonwealth. I'm going to say this again. Prussia never had an alliance with the Commonwealth. So they have nothing to break. They can just join. I think Italy did, so Italy has to wait for the truce. Otherwise, they'll take a hit. Ethiopia's been pieced out. War's over. They ended it. Commonwealth is allied to Denmark, England, and the Pope. So it's going to be the Danes and the Commonwealth versus. The lines have been drawn. Right, well, I guess we can have a look at the Irish ideas in that case. So they have exploration, defensive expansion, and quality. They are really geared up for colonial game, which is good, because that means lots of colonial nations, and even more importantly, lots of trade companies, which means lots and lots of naval capacity. And they have quality, which is good for naval. They don't have naval ideas. They do have defensive, which is a little bit questionable. But you can certainly get them next. Helson is the wall upon which the world breaks. Did Crete change hands? Yes, it's back to Arabia. So how did Denmark get that in the first place? Did Helson own it? Oh, did Helson take it from the Ottomans? That could well have been it. Do the Ottomans have a... Yeah, they have a core. So Helson took it from the Ottomans and then sold it to Denmark to use as a pirate base against Arabia. So Arabia did technically win this. They could have done so much more. They still have the pirate base in Andalusia. I still think that this was an absolutely ingenious move. One of my favourite plays of the game was when Andalusia got Gotland. So, Prussia, are you allying with anyone? Portugal, Andalusia, Italy, the Netherlands and Arabia. Yeah, that is definitely an anti-Commonwealth coalition forming. So, if I was in the Commonwealth's boots right now, I'd be talking to the big green blob next to me and saying, hey, if I fall, then you're going to have all of the European powers going after the very wealthy territories, especially down here. Also, if the Mughals join the Commonwealth, that opens up another front against Arabia. Like, if I was being the Commonwealth, I'd be presenting some very tempting terms to the Mughals to join on my side. Because the Mughals have a lot to gain from a conflict. Especially if Vijay is on Arabia's side.
Hello, I just wanted to come and say hi.
Hi. I saw you took Crete.
I know, so you can never privateer me ever again.
For the time being.
that actually worked out better than I expected.
Yeah?
Like when I declared the war, I had no friends coming to help me. And
hang on. This is Arabia, by the way. Go on.
And I asked Portugal after I started the, if he would join. Like, I didn't even say that he would. And luckily he did, because otherwise it would have been a bit dicey.
Yes. So I have a bone to pick with you.
What?
Why weren't you blockading them?
Well, in where?
Like anything, the war goal was blockading. You were not getting any war score for blockades.
Oh, I think because we were more focused on killing their fleets than...
yeah, but you had the entire... like, when it was only Denmark, you could have brought them to their knees, because their entire fleet was blockaded in Copenhagen by your heavies. You could have split off one of your trade fleets and just blockaded the whole of Norway and Denmark. Which would have got you the extra 25 war score, and also built up a ton of war exhaustion with Denmark, who would have been broken apart by rebels and had to peace out that way.
Well, like, Denmark I think we had 90% at our max, and I was demanding 50, and it didn't force him to take it.
I didn't see him being stab hit. I was checking.
Yeah, but I don't know why. But I was demanding for 50 when we had 90 war score. So.
Did it actually say if the country does not take this, it will cause big
upset? No, it didn't.
That's
say.
The key. Yeah, it has to say that.
Why. Like 100, nearly 100%.
But yes, you could have really caused problems, like caused him as a player to peace out, because the rebels would have been overwhelming. I was just sitting here screaming, it's like, you have a huge number of light ships. The war goal is literally blockade. Why aren't you doing it?
So they were docked because we had credible information, someone on their side, that the PSC was going to join, and he had his entire fleet in the Med.
Yeah. I mean, that would have, granted, made you scramble back a bit, but none of you were in, like, direct danger of a naval invasion. Like, you would have had time to react, and even then, you and Portugal are the largest trade fleets in the world. Like, it could have been like Portugal deals with the Mediterranean while you do with Denmark.
Yeah.
You had 300 light ships between you.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I have 27, but I have a lot of heavies. That's why I just built them all up, because I just wanted to, dominate the Med.
Yeah, and that's reasonable. Like, I get that. But just blockading one province when the war goal is to blockade is not enough. I was like, you could have won this. I mean, you did win it. Kudos for that.
Yeah. I'm also upset that I took out loans to build my own Maginot line in the Ottomans for the PLC to come break. They never got through. The Ottomans didn't have access.
I didn't think the Ottomans would ever give it because the PLC have taken so much territory from them. The Ottomans hate them.
No. So, yeah, like I just spent 4k ducats on forts in mountains and highlands with my own Maginot.
Just seeing that now, yeah. I mean, that's going to stand you in good stead for the future. Like, that is a good investment, I would say. And you make enough money that you'll pay that loan off in no time.
Yeah, because I thought that because you've got really good cavalry, but they're not very good in mountains. So that's why I thought I would take all the mountains, build forts.
Hey, Mordred, we lost Yarkin. What do you want to do? Continue or wait?
Is he rejoining?
Yeah, he is. His game crashed, so he's got to reload.
I would say continue. He's not in any big wars.
And then here's something else we plan to do. So I pieced out Denmark for kind of what I wanted but didn't want, because I did want him to give us Malta and for him to release Scotland as well.
So what was the peace deal in the end?
So it was war reps, all of his money, and Crete.
Yeah, Crete was the big one. I mean, with Malta, he can still privateer under Lucia, but he can still do you, I think.
So, yeah, I did want more, but my allies told me to peace out because we were all going to attack PLC together, now, but we have truces, so we can't.
I was going to say, Prussia is a perfect position to backstab because they've never had an alliance with the Commonwealth. I'll say that again. Prussia has never had an alliance with the Commonwealth. Sorry, that's kind of a running joke in chat. And Italy would have had the truce, so Italy is the one you'd have to wait on, although the truce is now gone.
Yeah, but that's because I think me, Andalusia, Portugal, we all have truces. Can't call us in. 9 years.
From the war against Denmark, which the Commonwealth is in. Yeah, okay, fine. So you have to wait 9 years.
Which I did tell them about, and I was like, guys, just join this war and let's just kill him all together.
That's exactly what I was expecting, because you had surprise completely on your side. Helson came into this commentator box and was like, I've lost all my allies. They've gone.
Well, I think, because he grew too strong, everyone had, the kind of bone to pick.
Yeah, and unfortunately for you guys, this is now going to give Helson an opportunity to look elsewhere for allies. You should have pushed that advantage when you had it, because he was completely isolated. Now he won't be, I don't think.
Yeah, I think Colbray said that this plan had been in motion since the start of the game. They always wanted to betray the PLC. They just never got around to doing it.
Which is why Prussia never had an alliance with the Commonwealth.
But I tell you what, though, I did not expect the PLC to build up an entire fleet, in the Med, of 50 heavies and join the war.
That did take me a bit by surprise, but then again, Helson knows that he's secure on land, his threats are at sea. I'm a little bit surprised that they're down the Black Sea and not in the Baltic, but yeah.
Yeah.
Plus he is now taking the whole of the Crimea, and he's also got Greece, which has a pretty significant coastline.
Yeah. I thought that he was going to meet up with Val's fleet in the Baltic and do a huge,
I'm not sure he would have won that, because the Commonwealth rocks on land, and that's because they've invested on land. You and Portugal both have naval stuff.
Well,
Portugal
I just have
especially.
quality. It's alright, I guess, but yeah. But it was fun. I did enjoy that war.
And I have to say, Ethiopia was the MVP. They took Warsaw.
Yeah, I know. He just was carpet seat.
That was absolutely hilarious, because I looked over there. I was like, the whole of Sapmi has fallen. Ethiopia is in Norway.
And then I think at one point he even beat the Danish army.
Oh yeah, more than once.
I was just like, what? But I think it's because Denmark went bankrupt a couple of years ago, so he had really bad negative prestige. So his troop quality was quite bad.
Gotcha. And also Denmark's focused on his navies, which is why I was kind of saying, why have you given up Åland? That's one of your main defences.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm surprised about. Why Denmark didn't build any heavy ships.
Because he was saving all of his capacity for lights. Like, his entire economy was based on the privateers.
Yeah. Because you can't, dominate with light ships, because they're just...
You can, if you use them right. I mean, you guys kind of got lucky in that he withdrew to Copenhagen and allowed you to blockade him in there. Had he fled to the New World, which he did do later, and basically just had them free and at large, he could have done a lot more damage with blockades and like naval assaults and stuff like that.
Yeah. But I was surprised that he let Portugal siege down his cap. I thought he would have just gone and...
I don't think he could have done much about it. Because his army was already devastated by Ethiopia.
Well, though I did not expect to have a war this session. I thought it was going to be chill, do nothing. But yeah.
I said at the beginning, I was like, I don't expect there to be any major player wars here, because everyone's going to be preparing to carve up France and Ireland next time. And I was wrong.
Well, with Denmark, he could have, kept on privateering Portugal, and he would have done nothing about it because, he just didn't care. And
he probably cared. He probably just thought he couldn't do much about it. But now, the balance of power has definitely shifted. This is what I was talking about when you were playing as Visionaga. Player politics change, and they have just changed significantly.
When I was talking to Portugal, he was like, "Oh, it's fine because it doesn't even hurt me that much." But but for me, it completely crippled me. I lost 150 ducats of trade income. It went from, I think it was about 190 to 50.
It was really quite funny because Val came into this channel and it was like, "Hey, I've started blockading Arabia. Oh, we're only getting 36%, but that 36% to you was 100 ducats."
Yeah, because literally all of my money comes from trade efficiency, which is what? Oh, well, it's on 80% now because the burghers are disloyal. But it was 130 at its peak. And then as soon as you started privateering, it just brought me down to my knees, literally.
Yeah, I was actually saying Arabia's going to be a real problem for the Commonwealth because Arabia has one weakness, and that's its economy, and that's one thing that Commonwealth cannot hit because you're too far away. Yeah,
so I was just like, you know what? You only live once. Let's just declare war on him and see what happens.
I did think it was an ingenious move. The Commonwealth selling Crete to Denmark and then Denmark privateering you. I was like, that is a really smart multiplayer move to do. Bringing in a naval power to use their naval power against the trade power.
Yeah.
It's just too bad that Denmark isn't actually a pirate republic, because that would have been even more devastating. Have you seen, there have been two pirate republics. Libertalia formed, briefly, in Madagascar, and we have a New Providence in the Caribbean.
Oh, I did not see. Cuba. Yeah, New Providence. Wow. I've never played as a pirate republic, so I don't know.
So much fun. I love them.
Pretty good.
My favourite nations now, pirate republics. They're really good.
So yeah, it was very fun. I had a nice war. I'll let you talk to chat now.
Okay, cool. Thanks for stopping by.
We'll see you later.
It is nice when we get the player interactions like that. I do enjoy it. And today has been a really good example of player diplomacy and player machinations going together. This is what multiplayer is all about. It's the constantly shifting political landscape. People were accusing Prussia, Italy, and the Commonwealth of being a massive hugbox, and they kind of were. But it's the nature of these multiplayer games that hugboxes can be broken apart. Alliances are often temporary, and players are going to be just creating a reputation from this. I have to say, Arabia was pretty unpopular with the way that they played Visionaga and the way they played Castile, but Arabia's kind of reformed themselves as kind of the defender against the Commonwealth. Now the Commonwealth has established himself as a really good player because he was with Maywar, and is doing it again with the Commonwealth, so he's making the players around him very worried, and therefore more likely to band together and fight against him. So I doubt that we will have any other... I doubt that we're going to have any more major player conflicts before the end of this session, but hey, I've been surprised twice already today, so I could be wrong. I think next time we may see the anti-Ming coalition round 2, especially if Yarkand can stay in the fight. Japan needs to use their navy more against Ming, though. I was really disappointed how they did it there. The naval game today has just been disappointing. It's been really disappointing. And I think we're going to see the Commonwealth alliance kickoff. And I'm going to be watching Commonwealth allies with interest. France and the Pope. Oh, they've lost their other... Denmark's broken the alliance. Denmark's allied with France, the Netherlands, Japan. Denmark wants nothing to do with that war against the Commonwealth, is what I'm reading from this.